Hi everyone, and welcome to There's No Such Thing as Normal, a podcast about neurodiversity, disability and mental health. I'm Lou, your host, and I'm neurodivergent myself, and I'm also completely blind. So in this episode, I'm going to be talking about noise cancelling headphones, so what they are, how they work, but mainly how they have helped me and changed my life. I know it sounds a bit extreme, but they really have changed my life. Because I'm autistic and I struggle with noise, I'm noise sensitive and I can get sensory overload in noisy places. But noise cancelling headphones have been a complete game changer, and because they've helped me so much, I just wanted to talk about how amazing they are and how much they could help you too. I mean, I think they're great for anyone, whether you're neurodivergent or not. I think we could all benefit from some noise cancelling because this world is, in my opinion, far too loud, and I think we all need a break. I think it does us all good to have some peace and quiet. But I do think that if you're like me and you're autistic and you struggle with noise, the world is very noisy, so noise cancelling headphones are a brilliant solution. So first of all, what are they? Well, of course, they're headphones that block out noise. But how does this work? So there are two different ways that they block out noise. The first is passive noise cancelling. This is where they use padding or foam. So in the case of the ear cups, that sort of physically block out the sound. So imagine a physical barrier, a buffer between your ear and the sound. And then there's active noise cancelling. Now this is the clever bit of tech that works to cancel the sound. So there's microphones inside the ear cups. They pick up the external sound and they create an opposite sound wave to the sound that's entered, and that somehow cancels it out. So they're very, very speedy. They have to pick up the sound and then create an opposite sound wave basically instantly. So it's very clever tech, and it does get a bit confusing, so we don't need to worry too much about the science or how it works. Even I don't really get it, but that's basically the gist of it. There are over-ear headphones. There are in-ear ones as well. I prefer over-ear because my ears are really small, so I find the earphones hard to fit. And also for me, slipping on and off, we have a little cat meowing outside the door. I do hope that you cannot hear that. It's very... No, shush. They basically... Oh my goodness, that is enough. I don't know. Our cat is very, very meowy. Yeah, so the over-ear ones are just a bit more... I can just sort of put them around my neck and I don't have to worry about putting them in and out. So that just works better. Mine are really cool as well. So they have an app that they connect to. So you can adjust the equalizer. So the bass or the mids or the treble. And you can basically customize the headphones to however you want them to be, which is really cool. So if you want your music more bassy, you can do that. And you can also adjust the amount of noise cancelling. So mine have a scale sort of between 1 and 10. So they can block out sound, of course, but they can also do the opposite. They can let sound in. They call that ambient aware, or I don't know exactly what they call it, but so it's great. You can either have it at sort of 10 where it's full on noise cancelling. And of course, when I say full on, you can obviously still hear a bit. No headphones can block out all sound. I think that's really important to note, but that's the maximum. And then 1 would be where the microphones actually let all the sound in. So it's really strange actually, because I'm wearing the headphones. It actually doesn't feel like I'm wearing headphones because I can basically hear everything as normal. They let the sound in, so it's really handy. You can adjust it based on how loud the environment is, because if you only want to block out a bit of noise, then you probably wouldn't want to have it on 10. I mean, I leave mine on 5 a lot just for day to day, because that's a good middle ground if I still want to be able to hear a bit. But you can also set them up on the headphones so that you just press a button or whatever. So I just think they're amazing. So how have they helped me? I think the biggest thing is that they reduce the amount of sensory overload. So I can go out and about and I won't get overloaded by sound because I've got these lovely headphones, and it means that I can basically have a better quality of life because I'm not so stressed or anxious when I'm out, and it also means I can go to more places. I genuinely feel that without headphones I wouldn't be living the life I am living, because I wouldn't be able to cope. I mean, I am very much reliant on them. I mean, I don't see that as such a bad thing. It is the way it is. My brain is the way it is. And, before headphones, I basically just lived with my hands over my ears a lot of the time if I was somewhere noisy. And that isn't really a good quality of life, because I was always very stressed and overloaded. And so one thing I always really wanted to do was go to a music concert. And I thought I'd never be able to do that, because obviously they're loud music concerts. But with headphones, I have been able to go to quite a few music concerts now. And that is something I didn't think I'd be able to do. So yes, I need these headphones, and they have changed my life, and I really couldn't live without them. But the alternative is that I would just be really struggling. So I just think, it's really useful. And of course, because I'm not so stressed or anxious when I'm out and about, I'm then not going to experience so much of an aftermath due to sensory overload. Of course, when you're overloaded, you've then got to recover from that. So not getting so overloaded in the first place does really help. I just think they're great. I mean, they do vary a lot in price. I think it all depends on budget and things like that. But I think it's good to just try different ones out and see what works. But I was also going to talk a little bit about the other options with sort of blocking out noise. So noise cancelling headphones are one. There's also earplugs. I mean, we all know about earplugs. They are great. I think they've got advantages and disadvantages. There are lots of different types, and lots of people do get on really well with earplugs. They're discreet, they're small, you can wear them basically anywhere. I mean, the time I'd probably use earplugs would be at a theme park, because you can't really go on roller coasters with headphones on. I think the only disadvantage is maybe finding ones that fit. I've had a bit of an ordeal with that one, because I've got really small ears. I've got like minuscule sized ear canals, so trying to find earplugs that fit me has always been a bit of a challenge. But I think I'm getting there. They're also really good for swimming as well, keeping the water out of your ears. But also, swimming pools can be noisy, so they definitely have their place. I mean, also there's always the potential of wax build up if you're wearing earplugs a lot, but then some people don't get that at all, so it's very much personal to each person. And I suppose you've got to keep them clean, that sort of thing. Whereas headphones, I mean, you've still got to clean them, but if you're putting an earplug into your ear, then you have got to be quite careful. And you've also got ear defenders, but for me personally, I've never really used ear defenders. I find that they can be not the most comfortable, but again, there are comfortable options. I also don't like the fact that I can't listen to music or anything through ear defenders, and you don't have that same customizability where you can adjust the sound coming in and really customize your experience. You basically put them on and that's it. It's a fixed thing. And the other thing I personally don't like is that whereas noise cancelling headphones they reduce the sound. Noise cancelling headphones reduce the sound. I feel like ear defenders almost muffle the sound, and I don't really like the muffled kind of sensation. It almost sort of feels a bit underwatery and I'm just not a huge fan of that. Whereas for me, I prefer the way that it feels with the noise cancelling headphones. It's completely personalised. There are lots of different options, and I would think there's no one size fits all, but I would say try out the different options and see what works for you, because I think there'd definitely be one of these, whether it is earplugs, ear defenders or headphones, that would work. So just trying out different things. But honestly, they have been so life-changing for me and have transformed my life, and I would not be living half as good life as I am without them. And I just love my noise cancelling headphones, and I don't know where I'd be without them. But anyway, I think I've rambled on enough about headphones. Basically, they're really good, and recommend you try them out. But thanks for listening. I really appreciate it, and feel free to share. Get more people to, listen, and hopefully help more people. I'll be back soon. Bye.